Hello, everyone. Today we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial of freelancing and how to get your clients. New clients, could be your first clients, could be you've done this for many years and you're looking at new ways of trying to get clients. You've tapped into your referral base, you've covered everything there, but you want to get more new, fresh leads. Well, I'm going to treat freelancing like a business here because this is basically what I've been doing for multiple years is looking at this like a business. And I want to show you exactly step by step how to get clients regardless of your industry. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to just focus on a specific example. So because I'm in the marketing industry, I'm going to be looking at marketing clients for my particular video here. But you can apply this to any industry. And this is just a really excellent template to follow along with. So first off, I'm going to go tab by tab here. This first tab is a spreadsheet that I've created, and it's just a really simple spreadsheet that allows me to essentially track all the different leads, opportunities that I could go after in terms of freelance marketing. So basically, I don't want people to overthink freelancing because there are a lot of platforms out there, there's social media. Basically, if you're getting started, or even if you're pretty comfortable with the whole freelance game, you really want to make it straightforward to get those clients. And you want to make it easy to follow up. So I'm not big on fancy CRMs or fancy platforms. And I just want to simplify this to a big extent. Because really our focus here is to get leads. That's what marketing is all about. And that's how all freelancers should treat this. So what I've done here is I have a column for basically a website where jobs can be posted, or perhaps I can pull opportunities. So I've made a note there, but then I've also, you can change this to company. So for instance, Angel List is one that I have, or you could just change this to company. I personally recommend just using the platform. So Angel List is where I've gone, because as you'll see over here, I also have columns for Craigslist, Indeed, LinkedIn, etc. So here's the focus here, Angel List, and then I have it separated out for name, email, sent, and notes. So let's go through each one. Here's an example. So Nike is a company that I found on Angel List. And I found a contact named Bob Stewart. And then these are just theoretical. The email and sent, and then notes. So the date that I sent and then notes. This allows me to be able to just follow up and maybe make some notes in terms of what they're looking for. But this is, I'm going to go in more detail, but this is a very nice setup strategy so that you can start tracking your leads before you get into it. But you want to just populate this. And I would recommend, especially if you're getting started, that maybe you're reaching out to like 100 to 200 people per day, depending on your time availability. But to send an email shouldn't take that long. And I will go over the email template to use, but to get through this, it's really straightforward. And at the very least, the most important thing is getting an email. That is the most critical piece. So if you can get the email, you're pretty much set. I mean, that's when you can start having the dialogue. The rest is just gravy. At the very least, if you can get the email, you're at least on the right foot. Okay. Notes are also important because it adds context. You can add a little bit more meat to a conversation. I find it's a little bit helpful. Now, I know people will say, well, you need a big fancy CRM. Not if you're getting started. I think you should do this very inexpensively with very low cost. I think you should be able to do this for free, and you shouldn't have any barriers to getting your clients. Okay, so now that you've set this up, let's start figuring out how to populate it. Let's go to the next tab here. So what I've done is I've created a folder called email, and you can change it to leads or whatnot. But basically my entire focus is finding emails and having dialogue with prospective employers who are looking for a marketing job, or it could be if your industry is creative or maybe it's accounting, like they're maybe looking for a position to fill. This is your opportunity to jump in and say, hey, I could help you out there while you're trying to find that particular position to be filled. So what I've done is I've created bookmark listings of all the different job boards, whether it be remote job boards or local job boards, any type of job board related to marketing. And I've created this folder here. And I go to that folder every single day to see what fresh leads there are. You can also set up Google Alerts so that it'll alert you when new marketing jobs come up on Google. You could do that, but I like the idea of just going here and pulling the list. Now let's go through each one. So Craigslist, I've gone on. You can easily find clients here. And look, these are all jobs related to marketing. And they're even related to they're local. So I can actually have a dialogue related to, hey, oh, you're in West Vancouver. Like, I'm not far away. Like, we could have a dialogue. We could sit down. We could have a meeting. I mean, you could eventually make this a very, very warm lead, okay? And there's just plenty of them. Like, there's no need to go anywhere else other than Craigslist. I mean, you could change the cities as well. You could go to other different cities. You can, let's see, let's go to the main menu for Craigslist. I mean, look at all the different categories for jobs. You could go through each one and see where the opportunities are, okay? And you could go to other cities worldwide, right? It doesn't have to be local, but Craigslist in itself is fantastic. There is a caveat though, and it's that these jobs are typically not as high end as, say, maybe a job that's on a job board, like a more bona fide kind of job board. But you know what? That's actually okay. And it might actually work in your favor because the business might say, hey, you know what? We can't find somebody because we're a new business. We can't really find somebody. We're happy to hire you as a freelancer because it's tough to find good talent. So that's really you're golden if you just focus on Craigslist. I mean, we could just stop right there and get more than enough leads through here. Okay? Like, in all seriousness, your entire business model, and I've seen it with plenty of freelancers, your entire business model for freelancing can just be Craigslist. And again, it also depends on the quality of the talent. But you know what? If you're just getting started, this is fantastic. Or you seriously need some new clients, this is really the way to go. But I mean, you could go to any particular role here, click on it, do some reading. What I would recommend is trying to find something that's aligned with maybe something that you can help out on. That way you actually have some dialogue and you could actually see yourself helping out. I would recommend clicking through the links, finding out what the company actually is, finding that email address. So I do not recommend going through these applications, these job applications, because you're not actually looking for a full-time job, okay? You're looking for full-on freelancing clients, okay? You're a business on your own. You don't need a job per se. You need a freelance client. So do not fill out the job applications. It's kind of a waste of your time, and it's a waste of their time too. because then you submit your resume and you're not really looking for a job. Also beware of the do not contact us for unsolicited services or offers. This is very important. This is why I do not recommend actually replying through Craigslist. Okay? Your job here is to gather information, to gather research. Okay? You're not pulling the trigger so quickly. Also, if you try to play the game, okay, I'm not really big on scamminess. So if you're trying to play the game of replying by Craigslist and trying to send emails through Craigslist and you're doing it at volume, at scale, it's not going to work out for you because Craigslist will block you. They'll actually start flagging your email. So you really can't just reply through here over and over and over again. Okay, there's a little bit more time you have to put into this, but if you want to take freelancing seriously, that's a good thing. So you've gotten information, you figured out the company, then you go to the company name, okay? You go to their website and you actually find the email that you can reply to, not a web form, nothing bizarre like that, but you actually find someone's email and you gather that information. And then when you gather that information, you put it here. You put it in the notes here. You make a line for it. Okay? And you add the notes. Okay? And then you move on to the next post. Okay? So you go to the next job post that might be relevant to what you're doing, okay, to your expertise. You're gathering this information. Okay, maybe you've done enough with Craigslist and you want to see what else is out there. A place that I think is even a little bit better, I would say, in terms of quality, would be Indeed. I think Indeed, there are more professional employers on here, and also it's easier to find out who the employer is. They're all kind of listed. But I like this a little bit more, okay, in terms of taking it seriously. Now, again, there might not be as much volume because Craigslist is really the golden standard and you're more likely to maybe get some bites. But when I take a little bit more time, Indeed is a good way. I mean, some of these positions are incredible, okay? Marketing manager for electronic arts. There's some opportunity there. They're clearly revamping their marketing department. There's an opportunity for a freelancer to maybe come in and assist, okay? You're trying to solve a problem that a company is having. The problem is they're trying to fill a position. And beyond that, they're also trying to grow their company, okay? Just hiring somebody isn't really the end game. The end game is to grow a company. So you can see plenty of opportunities here for companies that are looking to grow, okay? And this is your opportunity to jump in and say, hey, I can help out and assist here. I'm really interested in your company. So you start making notes here. And again, you have the Indeed column. So we're going to add, we're going to add additional. We're going to add the name, the notes, the email. We've got Craigslist here. Let's add another column. And you're going to go through, I didn't need to add another, but you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to follow all of this. And, I like to color code the heading, do like a blue. Okay. But, that way you can separate it out. But what you're essentially doing is you're going through each platform and you're making a running total. Now, I'm separating it out this way because Craigslist in itself is an animal. And AngelList, I'll go over AngelList in a bit, but these are just animals in themselves in terms of lead generation. So I have it separated out and I have the notes separated. I just go through column by column. this is a good way to just kind of keep track and keep following. And all you really want to do is start getting freelance clients. So don't make it too complicated. So Indeed, again, following the information, finding the email. Another good platform, we work remotely. These are companies that are looking for remote gigs, mostly startups. Startups need help, okay? Startups are really looking for consultants and freelancers. They are really golden places to get gigs. A bigger company, like a Fortune 500 company, there's more red tape. There are more levels to the organization. It's not quite as easy to get a job in a Fortune 500 or like a freelance gig through them. So startups, fantastic opportunity. These are very realistic. These companies are hungry to find people. Look, developers, engineers, these are all fantastic freelance opportunities. Because, okay, yes, they might want a full-time person, but they might entertain the idea of you coming in and doing some projects, especially because it's cheaper than giving out benefits to a full-time person. There are plenty of benefits to getting a freelancer on board. You pay for what you get, and that's really convenient. A whole host of things. Sales and marketing jobs, I mean, there's just so many. And it's kind of all over as well. All over the world, mostly US, but there's also the remote anywhere in the world. So plenty of opportunities depending on your skill level. Okay, so we've gone through Indeed, WeWork. You've got remote.com, another good one. Clearly there's companies here. You click on remote jobs, kind of do some research. Perfect. Full stack engineer. It's like head of finance. This company is ready to get some major work done. Like, this is a massive opportunity. If you're into any kind of finance or accounting, that you could probably offer some assistance here. Like, there's just so much golden material. Okay, you got AngelList here. Wow, 5 million different companies. Huge startup database. But what I'm mostly interested in is the done deals, okay? So I go to done deals, 542 companies. These are companies that have received funding, some serious funding. These are companies I know that are serious, okay? They have money to play with. They're ready to go, okay? They're ready to grow. They want to get people on board. As a freelancer, these funded companies are fantastic opportunities. So this is why I said, like, AngelList is a fantastic opportunity. In itself, you can get plenty and start building a database. But there's your entire list right here. You go on here, go to their careers page, see what they're looking for, see how you can fit into the puzzle for them. Authentic jobs, again, more opportunities. You're going to see some redundancies here. As you go through job board and job board, you'll see some repetitive job openings. Doesn't matter. Write it down, check for duplicates, do the follow-ups. And you've got remote marketing jobs here on remoteok.io. Again, more startup type opportunities. Look at this, marketing partnerships consultant. That's interesting. You can see that they may be interested in freelance there. And you've got remote.co. Again, more job openings here. And you can really build a fantastic list. This is not even with logging in. You're not logging in anything. You're just pulling all this information. Then you've got LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a big one, of course. This one's a little, I mean, I put this up there with Indeed, I would say. A lot of these companies are really just looking for jobs, but again, you can go in, do the research, really pull some excellent information, even find out who the recruiter is. So that's even better. And start having the dialogue. Okay, now I want to bring up a platform like Upwork. Okay, a lot of freelancers getting started, they're going to go to Upwork. Okay, Upwork is certainly a good way to maybe get some clients, but there's a huge process behind setting up your account. And everyone seems to be on Upwork. Okay, as a freelancer, everyone seems to be here, which is kind of a problem because it's like a bidding thing. Everyone's bidding for the same project. And you're not really standing out from the crowd. That's why I've moved away from Upwork and just going straight on with the emails, because I think that's the way to go. And also, Upwork takes 20% of your freelancing amount. So there's that as well. Also, your quality of projects will depend on your price and your profile and your reviews. So if people review your talent in a bad way, then that means that's going to affect your business. So you're very much handcuffed to Upwork, okay? And also very difficult to find out who is trying to hire for a freelancer. So you can't really do very much research here and get in touch with the person directly unless you win the bid. So it's a bit of red tape here, and the fact that you need to log in, I think it's just, I get the niche, I get the appeal, I get the fact that you literally are handed leads, okay? These are people looking for freelancers. It's kind of nice, but really it handcuffs you. You have limits, you have to pay monthly fees if you want to increase your limits. You've got plenty of job boards here where you can find opportunities to get freelance work. I don't think you need this platform. But certainly people have made a career on this platform alone, so I can't really criticize it too much. I've certainly found some major clients on here. But again, I want to focus on the spreadsheet, and anyway, this is the way to go. Now, you've compiled your lists, you've gathered a bunch of information and research from each company. Next, let's set up the email template that you're going to essentially use, and you're going to tweak it for every single email, okay? So I've written out what the email should look like, okay? And again, you can tweak it, but this is what I love about business-to-business emails, because your click-through and your open rates are your open rate's going to be really high if you do this properly, because business-to-business emails are typically opened more than consumer-type emails. Like, you have a better opportunity of getting your message read, because if you did your research and you can see that the company needs help, then you're definitely more likely to get a response. So what I've set up here is subject line, help for company, okay? You're going to change this word company, and you're going to change it to the actual name of the company. So help for Nike. What I love about this subject is that it's personalized, okay? It's very specific to the company name, which automatically says, okay, wow, this is not just another spam email. This is someone that's taken some time to do some research, to look into the actual company name. I think this is really powerful, very specific. You can get even more specific and do like, I was going to type marketing help for Nike, but the reason why I didn't type marketing help, okay, is because the word marketing, I have seen, automatically puts you in the spam folder or puts you in a promotions folder. And I don't like that, because then you've lost the opportunity. You could send out 300 emails and all of them could go to spam just for writing the word marketing. So that word seems to be a really big problem for inboxes. But maybe you're in a different industry, so you could do like accounting help. But that's why I just recommend you could just leave it for, help for Nike. You want to get specific, you can certainly add additional details. Just be careful about words that could throw you in the spam folder. I would not recommend using the word free. Do not say the word free help for Nike. I think it just seems kind of cheap, seems kind of unnecessary. And you want them to open the email, not put a massive subject line in. So don't get too complicated with the subject line. I mean, the fact that you added a company name here alone, that makes it appealing. That makes it appealing. It says, hey, wow, I should open this. Okay, this seems interesting. And then in your body, while looking for your ideal client or your ideal candidate, because again, we're looking at jobs that people are trying to fill. So while looking for your ideal candidate, I would be happy to help you with brand audit, strategy, automation, and revenue growth. What is your most pressing need? Okay. Focusing on you. Okay. Their problem is they need an ideal candidate. And here's a solution. I'd be happy to help you with brand audit, strategy. Like you're giving them some ideas of what you do. What do you do? Tell them what you do. And then ask them, finish this off. Simple email. What is your most pressing need? Start the dialogue, okay? You're not talking about what you do and your job title. You're not talking about your years of experience or your lack of experience. All you're trying to do here is solve their problem, okay? Their problem is they need a candidate for a job. They need a candidate for a particular position. Your opportunity here is to come in and solve their problem, okay? Get into what the problem is right away. Start that dialogue, okay? Don't talk about me too much, okay? Offer things that you can provide. Start that dialogue. Solve a need. Don't create things that are unnecessary. I've gotten emails about website proposals. I've gotten emails about graphic design proposals, and they have no idea what it is I want because I never asked for graphic design, okay? I asked for maybe a marketing position, okay? So you should be emailing me about the marketing position I'm trying to fill, not about something that I've not even mentioned, okay? This is why you want to be very careful. And it's great because if you suggest things that you can do, that actually that's suggesting how you can help, okay? You want to make this, I don't know, different or switch it up? You could say, I can do this by donation. Maybe you want to do like pro bono type work. Again, I can do this by donation. That sounds interesting. It shows that you're not actually looking to just take advantage. Like you're willing to just do something. That's only if you really want to go for the free work, okay? Never put the word free, but you could do this by donation. That's awesome. Because then you could get paid maybe by commission, or you can get paid in some other way. Maybe the client you're trying to go after can't afford you. Well, maybe if you can provide revenue growth, or you can provide a solution that translates into some serious money, then you can justify a certain amount. And you can ask for whatever you want. So I would hesitate to do this. Okay, I can do this by knowing. I would hesitate to write that until maybe later on, because you're automatically putting yourself kind of at the bottom. You might get taken advantage of. So be careful if you're going to write this out, just be careful. Choose this phrase wisely. But, you sent your email, you're ready to have the dialogue. It's awesome, okay? Follow up again, okay? Follow up again next in a week or two, You've written out when you've sent it. After you've sent the email, okay, I want you to do this one by one, okay? Don't bulk send a bunch of emails because it's a little bit complex. If you start sending out bulk emails, you might not get any responses. So, add the sent date. Follow up in a week. You can add little formatting tools to make this red if it passes a week, okay? It's called conditional formatting. So you can do that, or just keep it simple. Don't make it too complex. Just follow up in a week, okay? And you only need a few clients anyways. But initially, you might go for 100 to 200 emails sent out per day. Like to get clients, I've already shown you, Craigslist alone has plenty of clients, hundreds, thousands, even in your city alone. There's really no excuse to find a lead, okay? And to go after it. And it might be a cold lead. Well, that's why you start having the dialogue. Start talking about pressing needs. Start having the conversation. And maybe next week you follow up and say, hey, just checking on my last email. Make it simple. Push for it. And also following up is really important, because if you don't follow up, you might not hear back. Some people don't see their email. So to get your email moved up to the top of the list, send out another one. Make sure it's in as part of the thread in the email conversation, okay? Don't create a new email. Keep it simple by having it within the same thread. That's essentially it. Don't bother people too much. It could just be that they're not interested, and then you just move on to the next one, okay? There's no reason why you can't do this, and I believe that you can. And you just have to start with it and try not to overthink it too much as well, because this is basically a sales process, okay? This is a sales process, and you're kind of starting off with cold leads and you're trying to warm them up. Well, this is your opportunity to warm them up. Okay, that's it. Nothing too fancy here. The email's simple. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Don't make it too long. If it's a long, drawn-out email, I personally will not read it. So I want you to solve a problem. And the problem is the freelance client needs some help. And that's your job, is to help them out. Anyway, this is a step-by-step tutorial. I hope this has helped. This is very actionable, very tactical. You can get on this right away. You can have your first client within a week, I would say. Anyway, good luck. Hope this all goes well for you. Cheers.